Order. And the Jedi Fallen Order. I'm Ollie Johnson, and with me...
How do you do?
Yep. And we're playing, well, I'm playing Star Souls. That's not my joke. Lanny Fitzgerald made it.
I think you'll find it's Lanny Pater.
What? Oh, that was pretty cool. That sick kill move.
Beep, boop, beep.
Right. Now, I don't like losing a stim so close to my meditation pod, so I'm going to go rest at it.
Oh yeah, go thank the sun.
Praise the sun. Prepare to
I've been
Jedi.
I've been giving a few animes a bit of a go. I'm kind of in a weird place.
Yeah.
Well, you're familiar with fan service anime?
Yes, I am aware of its existence.
Yeah, well, you're familiar with its existence. Well, anyway, we picked up one as a joke last year called Monster Murasume. Now, as silly as it is, it's still a fun little time to have a laugh at.
Yeah.
Then we picked
Is that
up
the one with the
one
centaur girl?
The centaur girl that's obsessed with honour and chivalry and walking around in full plate armour, but also can't find a bra that fits, which apparently a lot of people I know apparently understand the feeling.
Right. I am aware of it. I've seen it referenced.
Yeah, it's silly, but it's enjoyable at least. You know, you know it's stupid and you can't take it seriously, but it's still amusing to watch. But then we picked up something people actually recommended called Rosario Vampire.
Good job.
Well, it wasn't fun.
Sorry, I lost you at Rosario Vampire. You cut out.
Yeah, apparently, well, we watched Rosario Vampire, and even though it has a plot, we found it to be boring and shit.
Right.
We were like, how is it that something that has no substance but to, you know, be a joke is somehow more engaging and well thought out than this that actually has a plot? Then we just went fuck it and watched Future Diary, which triggered Liz without us realising what was in it.
Right. I'm not familiar with Future Diary.
Is that well, the premise of it is there's a god called Deus Ex Machina. Try not to roll your eyes, please.
Right. Can we let's avoid spoilers in things on the streams, because they could be encountered by people who aren't warned.
Well, the long and short of it is that he started a Battle Royale-esque game where people get mobile phones that can tell the future in different ways. And he's put them all against each other to kill each other. The winner will supersede him as God.
Right.
However, during this, while not getting into characters so much, one of the characters, Ian will tell you, is a yandere of the creepiest variety. But there is a lot of flash rape and child abuse. Which is why a lot of, as motivations for why certain people want to be gods. You know, to undo, because they believe in the whole, they don't understand how time works, and they think they undo or bring certain people back. You know, there's the rules of time travel which never work out because, you know, you have to really think how time travel could work. Personally, I think Legacy of Kain is actually the only series that with time travel and made sense of it.
It's fun fighting stormtroopers. Are you on the stream, by the way?
Just my internet's been kind of shit lately, so it's, you know, struggling to load. It's been to even load what YouTube videos, so you'll have to forgive me if I'm not exactly up to speed.
Fair enough.
But yeah, time travel, I've noticed it's always got some questions thrown into it, but I think the only series that has used time travel and made it make sense to some degree is Legacy of Kain. Because there's fuckloads of time travel in that, and the way they describe it is when you go back in time, you're the equivalent of a stone thrown into a river. time will just divert around you, and your actions don't really have so many consequences so much as time will just divulge around you to try and get to its conclusion anyway. Unless you do something major and then you cause a paradox. So it's basically, you can do whatever you want when you're back in time, just don't do anything major to divert a regular conclusion, like don't kill someone before they're meant to die.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, you can move certain items, you can eat food, and everything, you can go to places and unlock doors that you shouldn't have been unlocked yet, but other than that, don't.
Right. Yeah, cool, that makes sense. Avengers Endgame gets around it with multiverse theory, so does Dragon Ball Z, really.
Well, multiverse theory is kind of a good way of getting about it. That
it's a get out of consequences free card.
Well, Dragon Ball Z did a similar thing, didn't they? With the whole Trunks didn't really change the future by going back; he just kind of created a new one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, over Christmas I did watch the Dragon Ball Z abridged Christmas specials.
Yeah.
It's kind of a tradition.
I getcha.
With the Roddy Piper, and of course the Roddy Piper Christmas carol, the 12 Days of Christmas with Roddy Piper.
Yes.
I
still have that skill point.
Beating up one of his fans.
The 12 Days of Christmas.
Good. Soon the son of Skywalker shall fall, and his journey to the dark side will be complete. I don't know what you're trying to say there, but I like the cut of your jib. Also, I've been playing a bit more of Dragon's Quest, and I finally found a Scotsman.
Cool.
An old man Scotsman that likes to read porn and stuff. It's, weird. Although I've had to say to Liz when she's watched it and rolled her eyes at some of it, that when I play a Scottish character in anything, I have never once said crivins when I get knocked over.
Crivins?
Oh, crivins!
Huh.
Yeah, everything is too English. Or, there is an over-the-top gay guy that is so over-the-top it's not funny. But there we go. Also, I'm preparing my bank account because, the next few months are going to be full of games for us.
Really?
Well, we've got My Hero One's Justice 2, or I'm putting that on the back burner to see if it's actually improved from the original, and it's not just inflated DLC put up at $60, price range. We've got Final Fantasy VII's Remake, Persona 5 The Royal.
Yeah.
Yeah. That stuff. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Yeah, that's the next one on my
We've got
list.
Yeah. And at some point we've got Yakuza 7. Oh, and of course, in February we've got the entire Yakuza 3 to 5 set coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, that alone, is gonna...
Yeah. I mean, I still haven't got the Outer Worlds, or Pokemon Sword, or... I mean, this was on my list. I still haven't finished Death Stranding, which I'll get back to.
Well, there's that, and also the cleaning out of the PS4, which is always an annoying task, but something I can do as long as Nicole isn't in the room. How do I clean out the fan?
Yeah, because mine could do with it.
Well, oh, is yours loud?
Very, yes.
Okay, what you're going to need, there are guides to do it, but really, you can either take it apart yourself, compressed air.
Yeah, I have one of those.
Basically, now, you're PS4 Pro, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, I'll have to look up a guide for your one because I'm still using the old model to see if there's any difference. But what I generally do is there's a certain part where the fan is, and you alternate between particular holes behind the PS4, and you spray short bursts of compressed air to blow the dust out. And you keep going until no more dust comes out, but you don't stay in one hole too long because you can push the fan too much and actually damage it. You just do like a short burst of air. It should just come out the sides or come out of some of the the other holes in the PS4, and go over it with a vacuum cleaner to get the excess dirt out. And I'll be honest, mine was loud as all fuck to the point where I couldn't hear what was on my TV.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So one of those, just like so you've got a can of compressed air.
Yeah,
no problem. If you've got that, no problem. Just put it on just unplug your PS4, put it on a flat base. I'll have to look at which holes on the PS4 Pro you'll have to put yours in, but you'll need a vacuum cleaner and some compressed air. Just alternate between the holes until no more dust comes out. Vacuum out the excess dust, and then plug in your PS4. It might take a while for it to sort itself out. Mine certainly did. Like a minute or so for it to just go, whoa, okay, I'm clean. And then, of course, you can just plug it in. It should work fine, and it's a lot quieter.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's the one I go.
Right, and it works for you.
My PS4, I did mine last month. My PS4 is quieter than it's ever been when I play games, because when I was playing Resident Evil 2, it was loud as all balls. Liz could hear it upstairs.
Right.
Now she actually held me cold while I was doing it. It's now quieter than it's ever been, like literally when I first bought it.
Yeah.
But you can still hear the fan going, but it's nowhere near as loud as it was. And the console works perfectly fine.
Oh.
I mean, the only other option, of course, is to take the console apart and, manually remove the dust from the fan.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people do, but there are a lot of people who don't want to do that to their own console.
Right. To avoid the warranty or risk breaking it. I know.
It's both, really. Most people just don't want to avoid the warranty, and most people just don't want to take the console apart.
Yeah, I'm a bit nervous about doing that, to be honest.
That's why I did the compressed air thing.
Yeah.
But what you need to do, what I suggest though, is if you're getting a stare, get the stuff that they use to clean laptops. Like.
Yeah.
How'd you get down there?
Yeah, that's how I clean out my console. That's how I cleaned out my PS4.
Right.
I mean, anyone else wants to tell me no, then they've got a better way. I'd like to hear it, but this is the method apparently everyone else seems to go with.
So, as far as you're concerned, this is the way.
Yes, I know the way. This is the way to clean your PS4.
I was making a Mandalorian reference.
I've never seen The Mandalorian.
Nor have I. Disney Plus doesn't come here till March, but that's a common.
It's okay. Most people already abandoned Disney Plus too because they've seen what they need to. That, and of course, it's terrible service working most of the time.
I have heard it's a terrible, I have heard it's a mess.
Yeah, I did like South Park did make an entire joke about it, although the joke of that seemed to be that cable repairmen are a waste of space, and they have this entire hatred of streaming services being inconvenience, and I still love the whole, oh, yeah, there we go, you have your streaming services, you really want to have everything you want whenever you want, at your own goddamn convenience. Yes.
Well, yeah.
Taking him down.
Yeah, but the overall joke is that Scott Malkinson's dad is a cable repairman, and he does that annoying thing that all repairmen do, where they say, right, I'll be over there in 5 minutes, and they spend 5 minutes while they're driving over there doing everything else, like their own personal shit, like going to see me or eating food or going shopping, then turning up 20 minutes late. Even when they're planning to destroy the inn, none of them can be on time.
Yeah.
What the hell, Dave? We said we'd be here by 6 p.m. It's 6-ish.
Huh. Have you seen that The Witcher yet?
I haven't actually watched it, no.
Nor have I, but I've heard it's good.
I've heard things. I've also heard apparently they've settled things with the original author of The Witcher, so that's always good.
Yeah. Apparently the story of the adaptation is more based on the book, but the visuals are clearly based on the game.
Well, that's good. I saw John Boyega went kind of in over Twitter, and it was hilarious.
John Boyega's quite vocal on Twitter, yes.
I love him. I love his whole. He just got mad at Kylo, at Kylo Ren into and making jokes about how he could now have Rey.
Yeah.
I think they're saying, and the worst part is, have you ever heard of Reset Era?
Have I ever heard of what? Sorry?
It's called Reset. It's a chat. It's like a chat room blog thing that journalists and quote-unquote industry insiders go to, and they ban people for the minorest of minor things. Though ironically, someone pointed out that since this is the place that, gets mad at people for being human beings, they got mad at John Boyega as, quote, he wasn't acting like the black man he should be and should know his place.
Oh, bugger. Oh, wow. Fuck.
Yeah, this is This is the same Reset Era that decided that they hated Catherine before they'd even seen the game because it had a trans woman in it, and they didn't understand the context of the game because they'd never fucking played it, but decided it was evil to begin with. Generally they just spread misinformation and all kinds of other ridiculous bullshit, but yeah, one of the worst things they've done is literally say that John Boyega's got no chill, and how dare he have an opinion of his own or have a laugh, and that he's not the right kind of black man, and that he should learn his place. I don't think you should ever use the term, know your place and that, and anything like that in that context.
Yeah.
Also, the guy Kylo Ren has said he hates what this movie's done to him because of what it's done to his family. Some attacks on his mother or something.
Yeah, yes. Fucking Star Wars fans.
And the guy who's played Poe says he's done. In fact, most of the cast of Star Wars have said they're done completely.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
And I'm not going to go into the whole Trump because I am rolling my eyes. And now, young Skywalker, you'll die.
Yeah, I remember that. And now, young Skywalker, you'll die.
I still love when the
and doesn't tie it into the new movie. This is what he was doing between them. It's over and over again. It was I who installed your invisible doggy fence.
Yeah, Darth Sidious gets a job.
Well, it's got to apparently pay alimony to his grandchild.
That, like, I think generally you have to squint a bit to think that The Rise of Skywalker is somehow an apology for The Last Jedi, and I still don't think this is that. But the Rey's parentage reveal was the only thing about the film that made me go, for fuck's sake. Because the original thing was better.
I'll just say it again. I'll say it again. J.J. Abrams doesn't know how to do anything but prizes, but not really follow up on them.
Yeah.
He's the equivalent of the guy who plans you a really nice party and everything, and it looks good and promising, but ultimately it just doesn't go anywhere where you expect it to go, and it's full of disappointment.
Yeah.
Especially when you consider he's literally got hold of Star Wars, and there's no reason as to why they should give him anything, because he's got he hasn't got a good track record with anything.
No.
The biggest thing he ever did was... Well, the only thing that JJ did that got him any kind of clout was that Lost was popular for a bit. And that was it. When he was given Star Trek, he drove it right into the fucking ground.
Yeah, the Star Trek Beyond was the first good one of that series, and it's the one that he didn't do.
And then he did Star Wars, and let's face it, it's an amalgamation of different people's opinions and messes.
Force Awakens was alright. But because he knows how to start a story well.
He just doesn't know how to finish it.
Yeah. Force Awakens was alright because it was an original trilogy fan film, and I would argue that that's all that was needed at that time.
Screw it. At this point, it's made people appreciate Masters of Kasi.
Well, no, Masters of Terras Kasi was terrible.
I know.
There was no semblance of balance in that game at all.
I know. I've watched the video that Maximilian Dude did, where the overall joke of the video was he has nightmares of Darth Vader trying to kill his parents. And he can't defeat the last boss of the game, and Darth Vader's head keeps appearing to him in flashbacks going, "Now I'm going to kill your parents."
I saw the James Rolfe video of it. Fuck.
Yeah. The Maximilian Dude thing was more of he does a fighter's history where he plays some of the worst fighting games, but his sidekick is his white Pomeranian. Which, he adds a voice to, and he even dresses up as Yoda at one point, and it teaches him how to play the game. Like, Yoda style.
Yeah.
But he times it. I have to give Max credit. His timing for the video for everything his dog does is perfect. From his growls to his upset face for certain dialogue, to his tired face and everything else.
Oh, dude. You know what's leaving Netflix on the 1st of February that I've been rewatching?
What?
Spartacus.
Ah, God, Spartacus.
The Starz Spartacus series. With John Hannah in it.
There's two versions Yes, I love John. I've been watching A Touch of Cloth again, by the way, speaking of John Hannah.
Oh, that is brilliant.
Liz hates it, but I'm still loving it.
How can you hate that?
I mean, Alan hates it because he's actually been a police officer and he has seen the same kind of traumatic shit, and even worse sometimes. It's brought back a bit of bad memories.
Alright,
Liz, it's a bit more some of the gross stuff, better.
Okay. It's really good though.
Yeah, it is. I love the dialogue. And I love Tom Boss.
Tom Boss.
But it's vital to the, it's known to the public. So such and such's arsehole. I don't want that shoved in my face in the morning either. But he's almost fingered McCratty. I don't care if he's fingered Carolina Rice.
Is that one view of you, Sam? My view has just switched to one.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're on now. Cool.
Yeah, so again, my thing is laggy as fuck. To be honest, I've noticed it's whenever I come into a party to talk to you, it takes longer to connect with you.
Ah, that's unfortunate.
I mean, with Ian, it's instant. With you, it takes like 3 minutes.
I have no idea why that is.
I don't know. Not if I sit up suddenly.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Don't think how they feel. Do not trust your eyes, they will lie to you.
Jedi.
Yeah.
Has it been long enough that we can, like, talk plot details for Rise of Skywalker?
Look, at this point, here's my thought process when it comes to anything with it. Everything about was leaked months in advance. So, and from what I'm hearing, everything that was said was going to happen happened anyway. So people already know what happened. In fact, it would be a miracle if the only people who wouldn't know what's happened are the people who don't hang out on the internet, because, let's face it, Rise of Skywalker spoilers of what might happen, and that ended up did happen, were kind of spread for quite a while before the movie even came out.
Ah, Seb's here. Ah, yes, Fallen Order, he said. Ah, son of a bitch. I keep being killed by those two stormtroopers. Rise of Skywalker was fun, but it just.
My friend had a weird Digimon situation come in with one of her things, and she sent an angry letter to one of the manufacturers of one of the bits of merchandise she got. Complete thing saying, "Digimon don't have genders, my fucking ass."
The way I see it about internet leaks.
Personally, I find it to be basically there's a thing with one of her statues where it's got boobs where it shouldn't have them.
Seb says, the way I see it about internet leaks is even a stop clock is right twice a day.
Well, the thing was that the leaks, I've always felt you have to take a pinch of salt, but with the Rise of Skywalker ones, the thing is that when the leaks came out, everyone's response was, that's not necessarily how it's going to be, these are just leaks, so we'll see the movie, see how it goes, but this time it turned out they were all right. So, yeah. And
well, John Boyega lost his script for the movie and it ended up on eBay, and Disney sort of had to buy it back.
To be fair, John Boyega we spent all that time thinking John Boyega would be a bigger deal in the series. It turns out all he does is just yell Rey a lot. I thought this was Star Wars, not Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
Someone mod this for me. Mod Heavy Rain so it's just him running around, so it's just him screaming Rey at the end.
Well, this gives me something to do. Thanks, Seb. What do you mean, thanks, Seb? What's Seb done? Heavy Rain.
What had Seb done? Let's see. Bring the national IQ down to 5.
Motherfucker! Shut up!
So I think when it comes to giving away story spoilers, I think at this point, you're a bit late to that party.
Yeah.
Everyone's already done it. Most journalists who didn't like the movie already pretty much gave away what happened in the movie anyway.
Yeah.
Like, they did it to... It turned out the people who didn't like it when it first came out tended to actually go into detail of why they didn't like it. People who did like it tended to just say, it's a good movie, but you might have to watch it about 5 or 6 times in order to truly appreciate it. To which I respond with, this is fucking Pulp Fiction movie over and over again to understand the tiny details.
The story is
stuff
fucking
like that.
dumb.
Then
Sammy's still there? Oh, he has left the party. Son of a bitch. The story was dumb. Some of the choices I made were really bad, but overall I still enjoyed it. Yeah, pretty much. No, Star Wars is like pizza to me. I definitely have a preferred version of it, but, you know, pizza's pizza. I'm probably gonna like it. Are we talking about the death threats? We weren't talking about death threats. I'm not aware of any death threats. Well, if we're talking about Star Wars, then you're gonna have to be way more specific than death threats. Because...
Sorry, it kicked me out.
Yeah, I noticed. I had faith you would rejoin me soon.
So what you're saying is, I knew you'd come.
I knew you'd come.
But yeah, I was saying that Pulp Fiction has the greatest mystery box of all time.
Yeah.
The case.
Yeah, and we never find out what's in it.
We don't need to, that's the whole point. You re-watch Pulp Fiction because the first time it doesn't make sense because the story is disappointing because it's all happening at different times. But then when you watch it again and you understand that context, you kind of appreciate it more. So, oh yeah, Ollie, feel free to give spoilers. Go right the fuck ahead.
The good thing about the case is it's unimportant. It's just something for them to fight over. And the great thing about Rey's parentage was that it was unimportant and didn't matter. Like, I mean, I've said in my review and in several conversations, cast members and Rian Johnson have received death threats after Rise of Skywalker. Rian Johnson didn't even do that one.
No, people just hate Rian Johnson in general.
Why? Because he actually wrote a film well, which Star Wars doesn't tend to be.
No, I think it's because it's because the perception is he tends to act like looking like an actual baby with a beard.
Sorry, I lost most of that. You're gonna have to repeat it.
And then it's mainly because the perception is that and I know you can't see me, but I'm doing finger quotes. His response to generally anyone is to insult them and call them man babies, while himself looking like an actual baby with a beard.
Well, I follow him on social media, and
I've
never seen that from him.
Well, you also follow Movie Bob, and you've never seen him do any of the crazy shit I've seen him do.
I'm not sure you've seen him do it. I'm pretty sure you've heard someone say
him literally. I've watched his. I've literally watched as he got called out on bullshit, and he deleted like 50 of his tweets, and then made one last tweet to try and blame someone else.
Oh yeah, I know Movie Bob does that.
Oh yeah, he Ryback's everything. Oh yeah, that's what we're going to call it now because Ryback does it the most.
Okay,
When Seth Rollins does it, a lot, we'll call it a Seth Rollinsy.
I've never seen Ryan Johnson say
Patriots.
anything negative about anyone. No. It's like,
Well, I haven't because I didn't know who the fuck he even was before this.
He directed some of the best episodes of Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Well, depending on how you feel about them. The first one they gave him was the one with the fly. Which,
Yeah, I'm still getting all people getting mad at me for laughing at Hank's death.
Yeah, he directed that one as well.
Yeah, I find that Seb can't stop laughing at Hank's death because apparently I laughed at it. He can't stop laughing at it now either.
Hank.
Don't let him run. Come on.
There's a YouTube poop called Walt Wants a Burger. It's quite funny. Where it's like Tuco goes, "What's your name?" and he has him go, "Burger. I want $50." I've never seen my dad say anything negative about anyone. I have. I've seen the picture of him with the sticky note saying, "Your Snoke theory sucks," but that's it. And really, that's nothing. Because let's face it, your Snoke theory does suck, and yet it's still not as bad as what they went with. Like, I would have rather he had no backstory. I didn't have any questions about him after The Last Jedi. Now I have questions. It's like, I mean, was he ever a child, or did he just emerge fully formed from a fucking jar? Did he develop his own personality, or did Sidious act through him?
Look, I think 2019 was a terrible time for cinema.
Yeah. It's been linked with the production
of them are but a lot of them just lost money, and that's all they did.
Snoke is basically shit.
Still got to give credit to the woman who. So basically, I think we've still got to give credit to the woman who played is Wonder Woman.
Yeah. I mean, I think I would have preferred it if
understand
Snoke.
It better than.
Yeah, I think I would have preferred it if Snoke turned out to be Vincent Adultman in a robe.
At this point, it was already. The thing is, I kind of knew the Rise of Skywalker was probably going to not going to be a
It's been linked that the production of Rise of Skywalker was a nightmare. Oh, that's been well known for a long time now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Carrie Fisher's death sort of threw everything into disarray. That is really unfortunate, and you can't really blame anyone for that. But JJ just made some baffling decisions.
Oh no, you can't blame people for.
Yeah.
It's JJ. You shouldn't trust him with anything.
It's a stressful working environment.
JJ is, and I've. I mean, my entire opinion on him is he's a massive hack.
He is, and a coward, as evidenced by the Rise of Skywalker.
Coward and a hack. He can't make a movie. He's never moved a.
Oh,
you stop. His TV series is an actual joke, and that's all he's got to his name. Who Star Wars? People are going to judge it. You know the whole, all three movies. And well, again, it's said he started it, and he hasn't just thrown it front off a cliff. He's basically launched with a catapult.
Yeah. Like, he did alright with The Force Awakens when his job was just remember all the good things about the original trilogy, do that again. And yeah, he did that well. But when tasked with coming up with his own stuff,
it's kind of like, I don't know, Flynn. Ian Flynn can't write established characters well, but he can do his own shit.
neither him nor
fine.
Kathleen Kennedy had any business managing Star Wars. I say again, Kathleen Kennedy was put where she was at the express request of George Lucas. He sold to Disney on the
Something I'm sure he's
condition
regret
that
this
that be
point.
the case.
Something
And she's also
I'm sure he's
managed
regretting at
Indiana
this
Jones. She's also managed Indiana Jones, E.T., and God only knows what else. So, like, at what point
Well, you say
do we
managed,
think that
you
she's
say- you say
probably
managed.
got a...
You say managed E.T. Really, all she did was get coffee for Steven Spielberg. She didn't actually do anything. My understanding is that when with the whole credited for E.T. and Indiana Jones and stuff, she didn't actually do anything. She just kind of.
And where do you
And
come
what's that
by this
position
understanding?
Samuel L.
Sam?
Jackson. Hold on, I
From
remember it was
where?
I remember it was somewhere. It was somewhere after that. It was somewhere after that whole thing. I think Samuel L. Jackson mentioned at one point that there's a literal position that exists to make you sound important, but ultimately you don't do a damn thing.
Seb says it was her production company set up to explicitly produce E.T. Look, I know you want to put a face to all of your problems, but with Kathleen Kennedy's track record, I think we can be pretty sure that she had, if she had something to do with it, it wasn't that much.
Well, let's face it, E.T. is literally all about Steven Spielberg's, he missed his daddy. His abandonment issues are kind of a big thing.
His issues with his parents are nowhere near as prolific in his films as Stephen King, though. I'm beginning to think Stephen King just hates his parents.
Oh, I thought you were going to go on to the whole fact that most of his stories seem to be about writers that can't get any fucking work done.
Oh, that's just misery, isn't it? Oh.
No, that's Misery, that's The Shining. I mean, Ollie, don't you remember The Shining, where, Jack can't write his story, he's getting frustrated because his kid and his wife are constantly coming in while he's trying to get some work done.
Yeah. I do remember that. Yeah.
And when they made that game, Alan Wake, that was supposed to be based off Stephen King things, and the protagonist was literally a writer that couldn't get any fucking work done. Oh, there's also the fact that there's always the book. If you've ever seen the Nostalgia Critics whole the Stephen King drinking game, take a drink every time the story is set in Maine. Take a drink every single time there's a bunch of one-dimensional bullies that are always around and bully the nerdy and unpopular kids.
Yeah.
You'll be drunk and dead within the first 5 minutes. Also, remember that the good movies based on his work are the things he's had nothing to do with. He hates Stanley Kubrick's version of The Shining. Like, he hates it with a passion.
Much better
And then
than
he made
his
his
book.
own version. Then he made his own version, a TV miniseries, which everybody fucking hated because it was literally episodes of nothing happening. It was nowhere near as fun, and of course the fact that Jack Nicholson is just terrifying to look at no matter what he does.
He as well says you're offline. Ah, weird. Well, tell you what, I'm running up against...
Seriously, look at Jack Nicholson's face, seriously, and try and think of him as anything but terrifying.
I know.
I mean, that's one of the reasons you couldn't see him as anything but a terrifying monster. I mean, that doesn't help that I was rooting to kill the kid as well, but,
Yeah. I wonder what happened to the kid who played Danny.
And let's face it.
Oh wait, yeah, he starred in that other thing. What was it? Doctor Sleep.
Oh, and let's not forget the Shank Redemption. Remember that the Shawshank Redemption movie was 1,000 times better than the book he wrote.
He's on the run!
And, oh yeah, by the way, Misery is back up on Netflix, by the way.
follow.
Yeah. I'm just gonna kill this guy.
Misery's back. Yeah. Misery's back on Netflix.
Right. Cool.
I don't know why. I'm just imagining Triple H. I'm just imagining Triple H trying to stop people leaving WWE by the same method that she uses.
Hobbling them.
Hammer to the legs. You want to go work for Aid? Will you? Wait, Hunter. No, don't.
Stay wary.
Misery's back on Netflix. They made another series of House of Cards. Oh god. Yeah, didn't they? They made another series to cap it off after Kevin Spacey was outed as a monster, and they wrote him out of the show.
Why can't they just do Seb's version and put Mr. T in?
Yeah, that would be better. Could you let me go and tell? On the case from.
Come on, nothing beats that scene where Mr. T punches at a crying space and to get up. Get up, fool! You're not hurt.
Quit your jibber jabber. You ain't hurt. You pathetic.
Shut up, fool! I just remember maybe Star Wars would have been remember the new Star Wars movie probably would have been better if they'd included Dingo Manburger.
Yes, Dingo Manburger, he'd have saved it.
The greatest OC character in the Star Wars universe.
Right, am I back where I was? I think I'm back where I was.
Beep, beep.
Oh, fuck it. Ah. Oh, fuck it. Ah.
There, Ollie, we might have to watch SmackDown more lately because, yeah, John Morrison's back.
Cool. I think they missed a trick turning him heel, though, if what you say is true. Well,
I don't know, he's been working as a heel, but to be fair, Ollie, he's been working the heel as Johnny Impact, and it's actually been very good. To be honest, John Morrison now, physically, he is like 48 years old, but he is in phenomenal shape.
Yeah.
Not only that, he's improved his character work, because he's worked on Lucha Underground as Johnny Mundo, and now he's been doing his stuff as Johnny Impact, and he's just left Impact Wrestling, so he's now come to work for WWE. So they have him. He has improved dramatically as a character. The question I've got is whether or not he's brought his girlfriend with him, because you know that didn't end well last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing with Melina.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, this may depress you, but I'm sure you've heard that apparently the Lana angle on Raw got very high ratings.
Oh god, why? Oh god.
Basically, she's touting about how it's the highest rated segment of the year, and its ratings went up by 40%. You know, when her angle started, when the scene started over everything else, to which someone replied, well, you know, it was at -20 anyway, so, you know.
I was gonna say,
does that really
if that's
matter?
the highest rating of the year, then ratings must have been terrible.
Well, it's the beginning of the year anyway, so jokes aside. But it's also apparently this storyline was meant to be Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose's, but they decided, why let's two actual LGBT community people do it, where we can get two heterosexual blonde women to do it.
Wait, so what's happening?
Basically, the Rusev wedding, the wedding for Lana was that she was about to marry Brock Lesnar, but came out. And Liv was screaming how she can't do this because the love of her life is in the ring, to which Bobby went, I've never even been with this woman, and she went, no, not you, Bobby, Lana. So there's an implied lesbian relationship going on. This ends with a cat fight until Rusev comes out of the cake and beats up Bobby Lashley, and then leaves Lana covered in cake.
Sam says 2 heterosexual, 1 woman are doing it, and Ollie starts paying attention. It does look that way, doesn't it?
Well, the thing is that
I thought they would have just had her marry Bobby Lashley, but yeah.
What is Crane playing at?
Yeah, well, basically the storyline, the whole lesbian relationship thing was apparently meant to be a story into Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, because they suggested it because they are actually lesbians.
Yeah.
Or at least Sonya Deville is. However, they took that storyline into Lana, which is ironic when you consider that Lana has spent years saying that she's pitched ideas to WWE for years and they've stolen her ideas and given them a question, because Lana on Twitter is full of shit.
Right.
But Lana has been known for lying about things like she lied about bullying in NXT by blaming people who weren't even in NXT at the time. I think Paige called her out on Twitter afterwards going, "Stop, I wasn't even in NXT when you were hired, so stop trying to lie to get attention." So yeah, Lana's kind of a massive liar when it comes to Twitter. Almost Hogan levels.
Oh,
You know, it still annoys me that it's 2020 and he's still alive. Even with a broken back, Hogan will not job to death. Yet literally everybody else from his era is dead. Seriously, Ollie, everybody from the Hogan era is dead except for Hogan.
yeah. I was saying to Sam,
He is the
Spartacus is going off
immortal
Netflix
Hulk Hogan.
On the 1st of February, so I've been rewatching. I was saying Spartacus is going off Netflix on the 1st of February, so I've been rewatching that a bit. And yeah, that was a good show. I think the sex was gratuitous in the first couple of seasons, as was the violence.
Juno's cunt, what now? John Hannah made that fucking series. I'm just going to throw it out there right now. John Hannah is fucking underrated.
He is, he really is. As is Manu Bennett, who played Crixus.
Look, you got to remember, Ollie, I only remember him from the first Mummy movie.
Yeah. He was in the other two.
Then suddenly he's screaming, "Do not fucking speak!" And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
John Hannah, what the fuck? Then a touch of cloth happens, and well, it's like a modern
Touch of Cloth is
British modern
brilliant.
version of the Naked. It's like the Naked Gun, but made for a modern audience.
Yeah. A modern British audience. John Hannah is to
fucking
slavery
true.
what Gordon Ramsay is to cooking.
Oh god, I love the Gordon Ramsay parody bit from Touch of Cloth, where the guy is literally using the people he's working for. Oh, wait up, Gov. In a minute, he blinds a pregnant woman with a corks. He was as hated as Hitler cake with Mussolini sauce.
He was about as popular as Hitler birthday cake with Mussolini icing.
Well, don't stand there, Auburn. Man, help me lick the blood off this sword. And it's the
What's
fact that
Gordon
really
Ramsay's
the whole
favourite
reason he was
wrestling
killing
event?
people didn't even in his career. And then I
I
shot
don't know,
her.
Pete.
I shot
What
her with
is-
a gun. A gun with bullets. Bullets that kill.
I don't know, Pete. What is Gordon Ramsay's favourite wrestling event? It's Raw! I should have seen that coming.
Also, I've heard. Oh yeah, Ollie. Brian
you,
Zane
Raw.
recently did a review of a bottle. Ollie, Brian Zane recently did a review of a little bit of the bubbly, the actual champagne Jericho.
I saw the video in my feed, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah, apparently it's very good. He got an actual wine expert to join him.
Ah. Fuck!
So yeah, he had it. Well, yeah, I love wrestling regret stuff, but let's face it, last year he did have the hard job of trying to defend Virgil.
That is a hard job. It's Christmas time. He likes a little bit of the buble. This Christmas, it is Christmas, and Michael Bublé emerges from his cave.
Oh yeah, I did hear that song. You know, the one that you hear every Christmas. You know, the one you're meant to avoid.
Oh, Wham
Didn't
again!
hear it all this last year.
You survived Wham again.
Well, I won. Yeah, I survived Whamageddon.
Right, I've been going around in circles for an hour. I think I'm going to call the stream here and come back when I actually make some progress. Okay. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you next time. Oh, Sam, where can the internet find you and more of what you do?
You can find me on Murasaki's Pits, where I've taken a bit. Really had a desire to do much of anything, and it's been harder to stream lately. Well, mainly because again, Nicole is very loud lately. She likes to talk. But you can find me on Murasaki's Pit when I get time to stream something.
Yeah. Alright, you can find our friend Ian at Within the Grey Walls, where he will be continuing the Spider-Man DLC. No, he has done that. The curse is lifted.
Ollie! The curse has been lifted. He no longer has to deal with Spider-Man. And hopefully this year, 2019, let's hope for no more cuckolding storylines. The cuckening was horrible enough.
Yeah. Alright, we'll see you guys next time.